Religious intolerance is on the rise in many countries across the world. Jews, Muslims, Christians, and people belonging to other religious groups, especially minorities, are experiencing more discrimination, hatred, and even persecution. Hate speech is increasingly widespread, particularly on social media. For European churches, this is a dangerous moment.
The Conference of European Churches addressed this issue in Lisbon, Portugal at its 2019 Summer School on Human Rights. Some 60 participants from various churches and religious communities came together to discuss hate speech. What is it? Why is it happening? How does religion get caught up in it? And what can we all do to stop it? First of all, what is hate speech? On June the 18th, 2019, United Nations Secretary-General António Guterres launched the UN Strategy and Plan of Action on Hate Speech. The strategy does not legally define hate speech, and it notes that there are disputes about what hateful speech is. Nonetheless, hate speech is understood in the UN document as any kind of communication in speech, writing, or behaviour that attacks or uses pejorative or discriminatory language with reference to a person or a group on the basis of who they are. In other words, based on their religion, ethnicity, nationality, race, colour, descent, gender, or other identity factor. As this is a very complex subject, this video offers some impressions from the participants and lecturers during the summer school.
Hate speech is, of course, a matter of concern in Portugal, like I would say elsewhere in Europe. It's a matter of growing concern.
Traditionally, the UK likes to implement independently the standards directives. However, there is a recognition that those legal structures are now struggling to keep pace with what is happening in society.
How dangerous is hate speech?
There is obviously anti-Semitism, there is Islamophobia, there's anti-Christian hate and such.
Comes like little drops of poison, poisoning our life in all its dimensions.
Hate speech comes in many forms. Sometimes it's directed against religious groups, while at other times against minorities like immigrants, refugees, or disabled people. Why is hate speech growing?
Fear, uncertainty, lack for hope for the future, and therefore rage.
The old world is going, but we don't yet see what the new world will be like, so people feel insecure.
Well, social media definitely contributed to the fact that it became a lot more normalized.
So, what should we do about hate speech?
In a world where there's lots of conspiracy theories and fake news, given facts is one thing, but we need to be able to provide concrete counterexamples, enable people to meet one another, get along with one another, understand one another.
At stake is our democracy and the way our freedom of speech, our freedom of interaction, and our society being able to function in a civilized way. That is what is at stake.
It is also important to teach people to avoid hate speech.
Education, to share very clearly that the message of Christianity is a message of hope, of life, and of love.
And to emphasize respect, openness, and inclusion.
We believe in diversity. We believe that being together we can share our values. We believe that each country in Europe has a peculiar way to construct more democratic and participating societies.
Ultimately, this is a challenge for all of us. We have to work together.
I think it's very, very important, first of all, that churches show leadership in contesting some of the political discourse.
But one of the really interesting things to do is to welcome these people which were subject of hate speech in the church, and to do it publicly in order to say these are our brothers and sisters in Christ, we welcome them.